Welcome back, everyone. Recent surveys suggest a troubling trend. Young adults seem to be slacking on sun safety, in part because they believe myths about sunscreen and skin.
Yeah, in fact, a poll published by Orlando Health Cancer Institute found that 14% of adults under 35 believe that wearing sunscreen every day is more harmful than direct sun exposure. That's right. Well, here to help us separate fact from fiction is dermatologist Dr. Renée A. Welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Okay, Dr. Renée, we know that this is a very serious topic, but we're going to try to have a little bit of fun with it because we're going to present all of us here with some common sentiments about sunscreen, and then we are all going to vote on whether it is a myth or a mantra, and then you are going to set us straight. Are we all ready with our paddles? Okay, myth or mantra. Okay, so here's the first one. This one ties back to the research that we just mentioned at the top. Myth or mantra, many of the big brand sunscreens found on the drugstore shelf include toxic ingredients and should be avoided. Myth or mantra?
No, I don't know. Right?
Yeah, so this is a myth. It's a big myth. And it's a myth that needs dispelling. Okay. And I could literally go into a drugstore and probably recommend anything that's in the aisle. These are ingredients that have been vetted properly. Saying that it's toxic is no more of a scientific claim than saying something is clean or saying something is long-lasting. These are marketing and advertising claims. These are not medical or scientific claims that you would hear from a dermatologist. Sunscreens have specific filters that have been vetted and approved in a specific concentration that are applied for proper use. They're not being absorbed as a toxin into our organs or changing our physiology. This is a huge myth. Now, if somebody has dire concerns, I can say to them, you know, use a sunscreen that has zinc. Zinc has a great safety profile, it works across skin tones, and it is effective.
Okay, love this,
Okay, so next up, tinted sunscreen is better than untinted. Is that myth or mantra?
I'm gonna say myth.
I'm gonna say myth on that one too.
So this is actually a mantra.
Oh!
Yeah,
Go on.
So it's recent data. Within the last 4 to 5 years, the dermatology community has become very much more aware to this. And so tinted sunscreens basically have iron oxide in them. And that iron oxide provides an extra benefit against discoloration. So pigment darkening, discoloration that we see in patients who might have, you know, melasma, for example. And so what you really want in your sunscreen or in your sunscreen with SPF is to have iron oxide on the label. It's going to be one of the last ingredients. Or you might even see it as CI, which is colored index or colored oxide. And that's a cosmetic chemistry term that has specific numbers attached to it. But yes, it is mantra.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Very, very interesting.
I'm so glad you're here.
Okay, next up, myth or mantra, getting a base tan can help prep your skin for summer. Oh my God, I've said this so many times.
That's a fair question for all of us, by the way. I don't know.
You guys are pretty good. It's myth. It's a huge myth. And so a tan is really your melanocytes or your skin cells having shown damage. So they already had DNA damage and they're darkening. The melanocytes are rising up in response, a reflection of DNA damage. It's a huge myth. A base tan might give you an SPF of 4 to 8, which is minimal, and it's really just not worth the cumulative risk of skin cancer and skin changes.
Wow.
Good to know, because I was going to get that base, and now I don't have to. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Beach. All right, so here's our next one. Some sun exposure is beneficial to ensure we're getting enough vitamin D. Is that myth
A little
or
bit.
mantra?
Okay.
Just tiny.
I'm gonna have to go with mostly myth, guys.
Okay, why?
Okay, so here's the problem I have is beneficial. Yes, okay, we get vitamin D. We get vitamin D from salmon, from trout, from mushrooms, from fortified milk and yogurt. The amount of vitamin D, and it's so dependent on the study. Where was the study done? What's the latitude? What's the climate? What skin type did they study? What season was it? The amount of vitamin D, it would be about 5 minutes, maybe twice a week. And it just, again, it's just gonna be the cumulative risk of all the other problems. Wrinkling, modeling of the skin, skin cancer, thinning of the skin. Just eat it.
Wow.
Wait, I have a follow-up. Okay. I have a follow-up. But everybody always says in Canada, because we're mostly covered up, it doesn't even make a difference because we're Canadian?
Okay, so if you look at what Health Canada tends to recommend, the amount recommended could be anywhere between 400 international units to 2,000.
Okay.
For me,
A day.
Yes, for me being black, I tend to lean towards the 2,000 international unit supplementation.
So supplementation. So still not arms out, buns out. Okay. Okay, just checking.
Definitely not buns.
Yeah. Okay.
There goes my summer.
It's a Melissa summer. Okay, next. A higher SPF gives significantly better protection. Myth or mantra? I've got to say this.
I'm failing at this, I think.
I'm gonna.
Oh God, guys, myth.
Myth? So what's the point of different?
Why do you even have the different types then?
So
why am I yelling at you?
SPF is sun protection factor. It is a measurement that indicates how long basically when your skin's going to show redness. It is not a measure of protection. SPF 30 to SPF 50, SPF 100, yes, you're getting about 2% more protection. If you think that 2% is worth it, sure, go for the higher SPF. I would much more care about people using a significant amount, so applying it face and neck, that's half a teaspoon, or if it's full body, 30 grams, and making sure that if they're doing activity outdoors, that they're trying to reapply it every 2 hours.
Oh,
Regardless of the number.
Yeah, so the difference
doesn't
between
matter.
30, 50, 60.
So why do they?
I
okay.
try to get
confused.
SPF 30. Try to get SPF 30.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
it's higher, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My goodness, blowing our minds. Okay, here's another one. Myth or mantra, sunscreen vitamins are a good option to protect your skin from burns and discoloration.
That doesn't even sound right.
That doesn't even sound right.
Okay, briefly, it's mantra. Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing.
Okay.
What is happening?
Explain.
So you're going to find this in a dermatologist's office, not everywhere. There is a fern extract called Polypodium leucotomus. Polypodium leucotomus, when taken twice a day, is great for people with, again, lupus, vitiligo, melasma, conditions that really can change with regards to sun and get flared up. So it's an antioxidant, it decreases inflammation, it even has evidence for decreasing DNA damage. So it's definitely an add-on in my practice for patients, particularly from April through October.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm learning so much. All right, so we don't have a lot of time, so let's get to the next one. Okay, wearing sunscreen clothing is more effective than applying sunscreen. Myth or mantra? I don't even know anymore.
I don't know.
This is a mantra, yeah. Yeah, so there's a type of clothing called UPF, or UV protective fabric, and UPF clothing, especially when it's graded 50 plus, blocks about 99.8% of rays. So that really is more effective than anything we can do as human beings with applying sunscreen. Wow. So ideally you want to look for something that's graded UPF 50 plus, it's certified that way, and it has a close knit, and that will be very, very protective, especially for people who are outdoors, maybe they're boaters, or they're triathletes, or they're marathoners.
Anybody's
Yeah, or people who just don't want the sunscreen dripping into their face.
Wow. Okay.
Loves it.
We have been mind blown
that was
today, Dr. Renee. Okay, let's take a break and digest right after this. We'll be back.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.